Hello and welcome to Corporate News. I am Anna Geeks. I've rebranded. I'm Anna Geeks now. Here with Cheryl, aka Mainframe, from our wonderful show Shadowrun Corporate Sins.
Yes, good to see everybody. This is probably the last you'll hear of my regular voice for the whole session. You can also find me on Twitter or Twitch as Muppet Aphrodite.
Yay. And I am now Anna Geeks on Twitter. And yeah, it's super cool. I've rebranded, so all of my stuff except my Twitch channel is Anna Geeks now.
So if you're just joining us, we are about to recap what happened on last week's Shadowrun Corporate Sins.
Yes, very true.
Broadcasts every week, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes plus Pacific time here on this very channel.
Hyper Rabbit Power Go is the channel you are watching.
And the great thing about our Shadowrun show is that we started out as beginners in Shadowrun, so you've been learning along with us.
Except for Tony.
Tony
is
and Lauren was not a beginner.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I don't know if Tony had actually played it beforehand. He just loves research.
Oh wow.
Loves research.
That's incredibly impressive.
That's how he rolls. He is a scholar. Tony plays Cromwell on the show, who is our troll, and I am a Decker, an Elven Decker, and let's just get to it. So Mainframe will walk us through what happened last week.
Very cool. Yeah, and after we recap last week's episode, I'll go through the action point totals for the week, and then we're going to bring Emily in here and talk about shows on the channel that are coming up for the rest of the week. Keep you all up to date on what's going on with that. So, without further ado, what happened last week?
Well, when we were in the middle of a raid in a Yakuza warehouse. Whooshing.
Everybody says it differently.
To each its own. They had contracted us, MFEC, which is our team name. It stands for our initials. I didn't come up with it. Don't write any complaints to me. But we had been told there was an abandoned magical lodge where stolen goods were being kept. And some other mysterious things happened, and we were also sent to a high school where the potential leak may have been located, who was providing the location of these goods so they could be stolen. So we split up. We sent our face, Elsie, to high school, and so she was over there while we were in the Yakuza warehouse. It was supposed to be a reconnaissance mission, but of course Cromwell dropped into a bench or something, and then suddenly there's Yakuzas all up our butts. So we were fighting, and it went much as fights with us you might expect. Cromwell ran through a door and got it stuck on his horns, and he used it as a weapon against other people. Fang very nobly protected me again, which was very welcomed. I ran into a room like a squirrel and hooked up to some machines that were disconnected from the Matrix, and that resulted in our obtaining of an encryption key, which matched some data we had gotten from Elsie over in the high school. However, while she was getting that data from some girl's locker, there was a complication. Apparently, she was made while she was there. She did not, the cover story she gave was not good enough, and...
Well, to be fair, I think the cover story was something along the lines of being a human student from an elf country.
Yeah, I would not have been my first choice, but, and I've had a history of hiding my elf heritage for various reasons, including the fact that my parents had the tops of my ears cut off when I was a child. But that's for a different time with various alcoholic things to talk about. That is not this time. We are talking about this mission. So Elsie got a note slipped on a desk telling her that she should be careful. And something about a white tree, which is apparently... they told us later, is like a mafia family in Boston, which is they escaped from Boston. Now, don't go telling anyone this. They are on the run, so I would appreciate you not spreading this information. But they now that the connection has been made, the people who are looking from them from their previous life in Boston can find them, so they need to leave. And they're... But she got this USB or whatever. It's not a USB. We don't have USBs in the Sixth World. I'm using that analogy for you
so that we can
to bridge the technology
gap.
You obviously understand. But she got this data chip, but using the code I got from the Yakuza warehouse and using the chip, we were able to reconstruct the next location to be hit.
Excellent.
Which was a freighter ship, and Wuxing hired us one more time, which is always interesting when folks double down. You saw how we did not reconnaissance on the reconnaissance, and we kind of blew up everybody in the Yakuza warehouse. But great, turns out this mission is right in line with our constructive destruction kind of MO, which was add to the security on the boat and make sure that stuff doesn't get stolen. So we talked some things out. Cromwell and Elsie told us they were going to be leaving. I helped them create a data trail, make it look like they were going to Denver. Fang is just not happy. She has some abandonment issues. And I was having some second thoughts about the group recently, and I have still not fully resolved those. But then Cromwell and Elsie just beat me to that, and they just need to pack up and leave. I don't know how long they're going, but Fang is not a happy campus. She is very, and I don't know if you've ever seen Fang when she's sad, but it's a little heartbreaking. So
a little bit of sad puppy going on. It's true.
And it was really a train wreck between the two missions. I tried to call Mordecai. His phone connected me to Talia, his talisman, but she did not sound happy to hear from me. So, it's been a rough couple of hours for us. But we went to the boat. There was a brief incident where Cromwell told everybody he was some kind of southern gentleman. We explained that his disguise should not be seen in Seattle. It may tip them off. Got everything resolved. Established ourselves on the boat and found it's essentially a tank. There's a tank on the boat. I mean, it's a multi-personnel carrier officially, I think, but it's a tank.
Multi-personnel. It's a tank. It's a tank.
So we have a tank on a boat, and the boat is currently being boarded by someone. I don't know who they are, but it's gonna get interesting. We are on a floating thing with
the tank.
with significant armaments, so that will be. And Fang's a little unhinged, sitting next to Flashbang, so anything could really happen today.
Just don't shoot too far down.
Don't shoot down. I am holed up. I know when it is not time for somebody squishy like myself to get into the fray. I am doing what I can from the wheelhouse.
Yeah, I was going to say from inside the tank, right?
No, I am not inside the tank. No, if Elsie wants to drive the tank on the boat, she is welcome to do it, but I am holding up someplace that is not likely to roll off the boat.
Okay.
The boat can't fall off the boat, so I feel slightly safer on the boat.
True, but the tank could still shoot the boat.
Don't you confuse me with your logic.
Odd.
I have a very clear plan. I will not be budged. Besides, I'm already unconscious in the Matrix, so it doesn't matter, but don't you confuse me with your logic.
My silly logic. No. My community frequently calls it my silly elf logic, but apparently this is silly analogic.
Deca logic my logic is 8. I'm just gonna put that out there.
So there we go.
And
I'm confusing you with my logic. This is no good. This is no good at all.
All right. Well, I need to go and array
find
my
that
goods.
hole.
Batten down the hatches,
right.
which I think there are hatches because it's a boat.
Can be battened
so
down
we need to go batten down
yes.
some things, but. That was a quick summary. There was some more emotional type things in there, but Mordecai had some magical, majestic moments. Everybody had their moments last week. But long story short, we're a Shadowrun crew on a boat with a tank.
On a boat
Join
with
us
a tank.
at 6.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Good luck finding a tank-proof hidey hole and battening down those hatches. Thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the show. And send Emily in after she has been properly hyped by Claudia, please.
Excellent.
So that was our recap with the wonderful Cheryl, aka Mainframe, from Shadowrun Corporate Sins. I will now recap the action point totals, give you all the official totals for action points for the different corporations. Oh my goodness, you didn't bring Claudia hype, you brought Kaiju hype.
Kaiju hype!
Okay, I still have to give them the action point total, but oh dear. So Evo has 18 action points this week. Ares and Mitsuhama 14 each. Horizon and Neonet each have 13, while Sederkrupp and Wuxing each have 12. As Technology and Ranraku have 11 each, and finally Shiawase in behind, trailing with just 7. Those are the official totals. Those are the numbers we're running with. Whether or not they are correct doesn't matter because I say so. But yes, we have a kaiju, who is promptly about to attack the camera.
Kaiju.
But
Kaiju, like a good puppy. You're part of Evo, aren't you?
and
He's part of
and
Evo.
Emily and Kaiju are here to talk about the rest of the shows this week. And I think he's particularly relevant to one of them, isn't he?
He is. I'll start with that because it's awesome. Okay, so on Friday, we don't have Death from Above because Tyler is at Gen Con, but...
Oh, but do we have a treat instead?
Do we have a treat for you?
This is going to be amazing and
It's going to be so much fun.
Wonderful.
It's called Mecha vs. Kaiju, and Malika's going to be running it, and it's going to be really fun. All the people that are going to be part of it, so Viking Lass Goobers, Steph, and that bronze girl are going to be our mech pilots, and they're going to be fighting giant monsters in Japan. Yeah, mecha pilots, it's different.
It's slightly different.
Slightly different.
I mean, they're giant robots either way, really.
Yes.
But mech versus mecha, important distinction.
It is.
They will be piloting giant
mechas, and you can power them up with onigiri.
And they will not be fighting this kaiju.
They might.
They might be fighting this kaiju.
It's scary.
But if so, we know who's gonna win. It's gonna be this little guy.
Kaiju.
It's gonna be kaiju.
Alright, Alienator's right. Kaiju is in Wuxing, but I'm trying to convert him to Evo.
Malika said so, and Malika overrules Emily when it comes to Kaiju BB.
Your little legs.
He's looking at me like, I'm not so sure about that.
You in Wuxing?
I think Kaiju thinks
Evo?
he's the boss.
I'm the boss.
I think he's just
I'm
playing
the captain
corporate